I want to be very clear as I'm going through how my surgery went. I know you've looked online and you've seen a ton of people give horror stories and a ton of people give absolute amazing experiences. And you might be somewhere in the middle, you might be somewhere on the other sides. So just know that whatever you take in on the internet, whether it's me or someone else, it might not be like that at all. So with that, let's begin. So I got the surgery January 26th and now it's February 14th, Valentine's Day. So if you're a couple, hey, happy Valentine's Day. If you're single, L. Sorry. So it'll be 3 weeks in a couple days. And honestly, the experience hasn't been that bad for me. After about the 1 week mark, everything has been pretty stagnant. I kind of see my vision getting better, but it's really that first week that you see a lot of changes. So let's go through it. So day of the surgery, I go in, surgery takes about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes per eye. It was very, very quick. If you want to know what that process is, I'll put a video right here. But they finish the surgery, they send me on my way. I get into the car for my ride home and I feel great. I can see fine even though my eyes are closed like they instructed. Everything is doable. I was able to walk to the car fine, I could see everything, I have my sunglasses on, and all that's really a problem is light. When light hits my eye, it's pretty painful, but besides that, everything felt fine. About 6 minutes down the road, when the video ended that I just tagged up here, it's weird, my eyes started to get heavy, almost as if I needed to go to sleep. It wasn't painful, but you could tell they were tired. Another 4 minutes down the road, now it's painful. My eyes are very uncomfortable. We had to make a stop at a Walgreens, I think, to get some painkillers just in case if I needed them. And I'm just sitting in the car with my eyes closed and sunglasses on, and I'm struggling. I'm struggling pretty badly. By the time we get to my apartment, I can't really open my eyes. I need help up the stairs. I need help opening the door. As soon as I got there, I pretty much was like, hey, thank you so much. I'll talk to you after I go to sleep. And I tried to go to bed and I really couldn't. I tried to go to bed for a while. It was probably 5:30 at this point. I don't think I was able to fall asleep until around midnight. And that's not just because I couldn't sleep, but because I was in pain. I couldn't get past the feeling of my eyes. And this is with me, I think I had taken some melatonin. I had some 2 Tylenols. I don't remember what dosage it was, but it was pretty heavy and I still was feeling a lot. It was very irritating. And I'm trying to remember what the pain was like, but it wasn't as much burning sensation as it was something is in my eye and I can't get it out. Like, it's not like my eye was throbbing or anything, but it was just like, it felt like something was sitting on the tip of my cornea and I couldn't get it out. So that feeling of trying to open your eye and then it closing on its own and you wanting to tear up, like that's the sensation that I was getting. So pretty much the entire night until finally I fell asleep. It was probably 1 or midnight or something like that. I fell asleep and I wake up the next day and I feel great. So day 2 was really, really good for me. I didn't have any issues besides being sensitive to light. And I didn't post the video, but I actually took a video of me reading some things just to give a gauge on how my vision was right out of surgery. And as long as I had my sunglasses on, I was cooling, like it was fine. I could see everything around the apartment just fine. I didn't really have any issues, not a lot of pain either. And I was excited because I thought this would be the remainder of the recovery because I was able to do everything. I could watch TV, I think I played FIFA that day, you know, like I felt good and my eyes weren't straining. It was just a good day, nothing wrong whatsoever. So I fell asleep perfectly fine that night. I don't think I was even taking painkillers at that point. I think I was just taking the drops that they had given me because I felt fine. And then I wake up for day 3 and man, that day 3 was one of the worst days I've ever had in my life. It was so painful. And I've gone through a good bit of pain. I've had root canals, I've had 2 surgeries on my knees. This was different. It almost felt like someone had taken my eye out, poured some salt on it, and then rolled it down a beach. Like it was so stinging and throbbing at the same time. So it was like I had a constant pain that was like something stuck in your eye, you can't get it out. And then on top of that, it was like stinging pain because you can't rub your eyes. So you'd want to like hold them tightly or try to squint or try to move them around, and that pain would cause incremental pain. And then on top of all of that, it was throbbing pain from the burning sensation that you were getting in general. So it was really, really tough. And it was like that the entire day. So from the moment I woke up on Saturday morning, so I probably woke up at like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. because of the pain, I felt that feeling until I woke up Sunday morning. So however many hours that is, you know, like 24, if not more, of just constant burning. And there's nothing I could do. No matter how many drops I put, I tried the cool pack that they suggested that you could do, like everything. I tried everything and there was nothing I could do to make it feel any better. So it felt really helpless. It was just a lot of trying to distract myself. I would try to listen to a lot of videos. I would try to just talk to people on the phone or whatever I could do. Luckily, my girlfriend was here. She was able to help me through that process a little bit because like getting food was difficult. Just even finding my way to the bathroom was difficult because opening my eyes even for a moment was very painful. And it definitely got better the longer the day went because I know at nighttime I could move around the apartment. It still hurt, but I could definitely move a lot better. So man, a lot of people talk about having pain like this for multiple days. And if that was me, I don't know if I would have been able to do it, but luckily it was just that one day that was really bad. And then it started to get a little better from there. Also, quick thing, we hit 100 subscribers! Hey man, I appreciate you guys. I know that number is so tiny to a lot of people, but it means a lot to me. So to everyone who's watching as a subscriber, man, thank you for real. It's the first step in a long journey, but it really means a lot and it's very encouraging to see. So thank you, I love you guys. All right, let's get back. So then we have day 4. Day 4 was very similar to day 2. I didn't really feel any pain, which was so relieving once I woke up. It was actually weird because I didn't believe that I wasn't feeling pain. So I remember just like laying in bed with a blanket over my head to block out the light and just blinking and being like, wait, am I not hurting, you know? And I wasn't, so thank God for that. But it was just light sensitivity. This is the only issue I had the entire day. I didn't have any pain, no burning, nothing. I was taking painkillers just because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna feel any more pain, but it never came, so I stopped taking them that day. I didn't have any issues at all besides just having to wear sunglasses. If I was in a car with like no tint, then I would just keep my eyes closed and maybe even cover my eyes up with a jacket or something like that. But other than that, it was absolutely fine. Fresh air felt good. Unlike the day before, it was really hard for me to go outside or do anything. As soon as the air would hit me, it would hurt a lot more. That was all gone. It felt good, it really did. So day 5, this is Monday. This is the day of my post-op appointment. Beautiful day. I didn't feel any pain whatsoever. Light sensitivity was completely gone. I could still see relatively well, but obviously like I couldn't drive or anything like that. I go into my appointment, they take off the contact lens. It hurts a little bit when they first take it off because your eyes are finally being exposed to the elements, but they put some drops in, test your vision. I believe I was 20/40 in one eye and 20/50 in the other eye. And they told me I could drive, I could do all those things. I didn't really feel comfortable enough to do that, but I could see, you know, when I walked outside, I didn't need sunglasses, I could read things. And that was a really cool thing to do for the first time. You could kind of see stuff when you had your contact on, but at the same time, it was kind of getting dirty, a little gunky from, you know, having it on for a few days without taking it off. So it definitely, your vision got better like once they took it off. But it was just nice to know that you could see without pain and you could see well enough to do things. So even now, I feel my vision has gotten a lot better, but not to where I've been able to notice it. So it's hard to tell if I'm just getting used to my vision being like this or if my vision is still getting better every day. So who knows? It's hard to tell, but I do know that I'm driving now. I'm able to fully function. When I need to order food or something, I need to get pretty close. But besides things like that, like I can sit here and see things on my laptop, which is really nice. So definitely day 5 was a big up for me. And then day 6, honestly, was just the exact same. Same with day 7, day 8, day 9. After that 6th day, everything has been pretty consistent. I haven't really had any pain. I'm able to rub my eyes. I'm able to wash my eyes. I'm able to do all those things that I was just praying that I'd be able to do during the other days. So it seems like, again, like my vision is getting better, but it's just really hard to tell if it actually is or if I'm just imagining that or if I'm getting used to the life with my eyes how they are now. But I'll have my next post-op next week, and we'll see, you know, what my vision is there. But overall, it hasn't been a terrible experience for me. I know some people really struggle, really hate it, and have a lot of issues. And I definitely, you know, Saturday, that day 3 it was definitely hell for me. But I think if it's just something that quick, 24 hours, anyone can get through something for 24 hours. You know, now I look back and I'm like, man, I was down bad, but I don't remember the pain the same way that I was in the moment. So if you can fight through it, then I think you'll be okay. I would just advise to distract yourself. You really have to find a way to get your mind off of it, whether that's, you know, finding a way to sleep or finding people to speak to, anything like that. Just, if you can find a way to get around that, then I think you'll be fine. So let's just go through some things that they don't really tell you about the surgery. These are just things that I've been experiencing that no one really talked about. And it's not terrible things, but it's just things that I'm like, okay, well, I don't like that. And no one really said. So let's go through them and see if it helps anyone. So the first, and I think the biggest thing, is how sensitive your eyes truly are to light. It's bad. Like, it's very hard to see, very hard to use your eyes. Even my phone at the most dim setting with the nighttime feature on, I could not even squint to look at it. If there's a night light, can't use it. I would genuinely be in my bed for the majority of the night, the majority of the day for some of the days, and I would have a blanket over me, a sheet over me, and a comforter just to block out any type of light. And then I'd have my eyes closed on top of all of that as well. If I wanted to put in eye drops, I'd have to do the same thing. I'd go under the sheets and put my eye drops in because I wouldn't be able to open my eye big enough to put any drops in. It was really tough for the light sensitivity. So just be cautious about that. If you struggle with that already, please get some light blocking blinds, something that'll black out your room, and just have a space where you know, if I need to be in the dark, I can go there. And some people haven't really experienced the light thing, but I've never in my life had to deal with light sensitivity. I've never needed sunglasses. I could look at the sun, no problem. So this was a big deal for me and something I was not expecting. So another thing is the eye drops. One, if you hate eye drops, this might not be for you because you put a lot in. I got 4 things I was supposed to put in. One of them I was using twice a day for 2 weeks. The other I was using 4 times a day, and then 3 times a day, 2 times a day, 1 time a day, depending on what week I was on. And then you have the actual eye drops, like the tears, what are the artificial tears that you use, and you're using those once an hour for the first 3 days, I think mine was, and then just as much as you need them, but minimum of, I think it was like 6 or 8 times a day. So you're putting stuff in your eyes all the time, over. So if you don't like that, hey, good luck, man. You know, like it's definitely a lot. But then my issue is that the medicine eye drops that you're using have an aftertaste, and it's rough. Like, you taste it over your food, you taste it over anything you might drink, and just during the day, like, you can taste it the entire time. So it's like you put it in and you first feel it here. You can smell the medicine like right here, and it slowly starts to move down. And then once it's gone out of your nose, then you just taste it in the back of your mouth. So I'd always try to like drink some water or eat something right after to get the taste away, but the taste would always still be there at the end. And it just at some point gets annoying, especially if you're like trying to sleep or something. It's just like, what is this taste in my mouth? So I don't know if that's something that I'm reacting to or if that's normal for everyone, but the taste was pretty bad for both of the eye drops that they gave me that were prescribed from the doctor, not the one that I had to go pick up at the pharmacy. But that's another thing too that I haven't really heard anyone talk about. So maybe it's just me, but I was not a fan. Another thing is your actual vision. So even though they told me my vision was 20/40, I don't think that was true. I could see the best when my eyes were wet. So even now, I put an eye drop in, I can see the best at that moment, which makes sense because of how the light is refracting. But my issue is, even though I can see 20/40, it's still blurry, it's still fuzzy. And I heard someone else on YouTube say this, where they were like, yeah, like they tested my vision, they said it was 20/20, but it wasn't clear. And that's how I feel now. It's like I can see things, and I'm sure if you told me what letter is this or how many fingers am I holding up, I could tell you, but it's still not crispy, it's still not clear, it's very fuzzy. It's almost like I'm looking through a layer of water or a layer of a film that just makes it just blurry enough to where I can't fully be like, oh no, that's crisp, that's clear. So I'm hoping that over time that fixes, but just know that 2020, 2015, 2040, 2050, whatever it is, it might not actually be what that is. You might be seeing it in double vision or in a little haziness or a little blurriness until you're fully healed. And whether that's a month or a year, you know, that's really up to your body. Another thing that's kind of strange is you kind of have to relearn how to focus. Like if you're nearsighted, you've been used to using the muscles to see very clearly. Like if you have bad vision, you're able to hold something this close and it's very easy to see it. Like you can read it as crisp as you could ever see anything. But as you take it away, you struggle to see. Well, now that's flipped, right? So it's like the muscles used to focus from far away, you've never really had to use those before. And the muscles used to be really close are completely altered. So back in the day, I would just grab a book and I'd put it right here, I'd be able to read. But now, even looking at my fingers, it's really hard to focus. Like if I put it here, like it starts to hurt my brain. And moving it out, I can focus, but it's like my brain has to try a lot harder. Same thing with far away. Like if I'm looking something here and I look up, it's not instant. It's like my muscles have to try really hard to change, you know, from far to near. And I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's normal, but it just seems like I'm using muscles that I've never had to use before. And it's just causing everything to be a little bit slower. And not even in a bad way. It's not anything noticeable. Don't get me wrong. Like it's not hindering me from doing anything, but it's definitely, it takes time. And it's also changed my depth perception just a little bit because it takes time. So if someone was to throw a ball at me and say, heads up, and I look over, I'd probably get hit. Versus back, you know, before it would just be a very quick, very easy, oh, I see it, it's coming, let's go. So just know that as well. Like if you play sports or something, it might take a little while for you to be able to get to the level that you were, or just to get to the reaction time that you were, because it definitely is different. Like looking at my hands close, looking at something far away, it's not instantaneous as it used to be. And I think that's okay. I think that's normal if it's true that you're using muscles you've never used before, and it just takes time. Something else that everyone kind of already talks about is just you can't touch your eyes. So you know, your eyes will get crusty for a little while. Cleaning them is very difficult. You can't rub your eyes, and anytime there's pain, I think the very first thing you want to do is rub your eyes. Or if you're like me, the first thing you do when you wake up is you want to rub your eyes. So you just have to be very cautious about that. You don't want to ruin anything. You don't want to make the process any harder or any longer than it already has to be. So just be careful. Make sure you're keeping on top of that so you're not ruining anything. So another thing when it comes to how you actually see is your eyes are going to heal at different levels. So for example, like the way I see with this eye and this eye are very different right now. I can see the Sony on the camera very well with my right eye and struggle a little bit with my left eye. And that happens just with outside things as well too. So when I'm driving and I'm trying to focus on something, sometimes it looks like double vision because I know my left eye is struggling more than my right eye. Or if I'm reading or whatever I'm doing, just know that it's not going to be the exact same. It's not like, you know, when you have glasses and you can have a prescription in this eye and a different prescription in this eye. Like I had a head start with one eye, so it's just taking time for it to come to the same point. So just know that you need to be careful about that and how you focus on things, because it's very easy to get a headache and very easy to get not nauseous, but somewhat dizzy because you're trying so hard to focus on something with two different prescriptions in your eyes, and there's really nothing you can do about it. So just be cautious about that and just take it easy. You don't really think about how you have to be careful about how you look at something or careful how you use your eyes. But in this case, I think you should be, because there's certain things that if you do too quickly, you do too much, you're going to get dizzy. You're going to get headaches. You're going to hurt yourself. So just swallow that pride for a little bit and take it easy as much as you can. The very last thing I would say is your eyes are going to feel different than what they used to. And I never really understood this feeling, but maybe it happens to other people, not just people with glasses. You know the feeling when you're wearing contacts and you've worn them for the entire day. Let's just say, for this example, they're disposable. So you put on your contacts in the morning and you've worn them all day. And by nighttime, your eyes feel heavy. Like it feels like all you want to do when you go home is take off your contacts. It's almost like that feeling when you've worn shoes and socks all day and you want to go home and just take them off. That feeling in your eyes where you're just like, all I have to do is take these out and my eyes will feel fine. I feel that now, but I can't take my contacts off. So it's like that feeling of knowing like, oh man, my contacts have been on way too long. My eyes are itchy, they're irritable. I can feel them being heavy. I just want to take them off, throw them away, and I know my eyes will get better. I feel that almost every single night, and I can't do anything except go to sleep because there's nothing to take out of my eyes. So I don't know if that's the healing process or if that's going to be a regular thing, but it's like just that feeling of I've been using my eyes too long today in these circumstances. How do I stop that feeling? I haven't been able to figure out a way to do that efficiently because I know when I would wear glasses, I wouldn't feel that. It would just be like, all right, I've worn glasses all day, everything is fine. But I know for a fact with soft contacts, at the end of the day, all I want to do is take them off. And as soon as I do, instant relief. So if you've had that experience after PRK, please help me with that because it stumps me to this day. And it's almost like you can feel it being built up. It's almost like there's like 100% battery in your eye, and at the beginning of the day, it's starting at 0, and then it's almost like you're just filling it up, and once it's at 100, it's time to stop using your eyes. Well, I guess I should have gone 100 to 0, but you get the point. It's just like you're using them up, and you can feel them getting heavier and heavier and heavier, but there's no way to drain it besides going to sleep. So just another thing to think about. But I think that's all I have. I don't really know anything else off the top of my head that I've been struggling with. There's a ton of things on other people's accounts and other people's channels and whatnot who talk about other things, but I haven't experienced any of those. Everything I've really had issues with is what I've already mentioned, what I've already said. But I hope the video helped. I hope you get some type of understanding from my experience. Again, it was probably a little too long. I probably should have cut it down a little bit. But if you liked it, leave a like. If you have any questions, put a comment down. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here for a while, I appreciate you. Drop a subscribe down there and show some love. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.